Good morning. I've taken myself off for a couple of miles because we've gone back to the campsite to once again keep the doggos nice and cool in the shade. I took myself out yesterday, but it was way too warm and the route I'd chosen was way too arduous for the weather. So I'm now just taking myself out for a little bimble and hopefully make it some way up that hill over there. Hopefully I can get up there, but we will see. So heading up here, there's a timber forest just there. But then the left-hand edge is just up that way. If you're going up the hill, look left hard 90, and hopefully the campsite should be there. And that's what I intend to see from the side. But already, the scenery is lush. That's 1.69 miles and 500 feet of elevation gain. Now, for those that might remember my Mountain Monday escapades of lockdown, it would have taken me about 5.5–6 miles to hit that. There you go, just down there is the campsite. Oh yeah. Now by a little brook in the shade under some canopy, having run over someone else's little meadow. There we are. No harm, no foul. Into a pretty little sea of thistles. And yes, they are prickly. It's a very pleasant place to be misplaced. I'm going down there, which is a ford. Something's up there, but there's a little sign for a footpath, so it must mean that this is frequented by people. Sadly, it begins.
It does. The big pack. Not to say that we're stopping camping immediately.
No.
Tomorrow we're going to be heading down to the Peak District for a few days, but we are sadly leaving the Yorkshire Dales.
We are.
And we are genuinely mournful to be doing so. It is awesome here.
It is.
Help me.
That door's already broken, be careful. Dead Thomases, keep out. My love.
Yes.
On a scale of less than 0 to Christmas elf, how helpful is Maisie being right now?
That dragon from the Hobbit film. Or book even. No, got your penguin. She got your penguin.
Mum! Dad! Thank you, my dear. He's right though, this is a haunting light. Just to say good night and wrap up today's vlog. Tomorrow we will be packing up the car and heading to the Lake District. So Thomas is in a sleeping bag, the Wiglets are in bed, and now I'm gonna go get into my sleeping bag. So, good night everyone, we'll see you tomorrow. Good morning everybody. It is currently 2 minutes to 11 and we have been on the B6160 for some time because there's a bus ahead of us and every time any kind of vehicle comes in the opposite direction we have to stop for 10 minutes so they can have a chin wag and figure out who's going to reverse.
I have learned how to close and open my wing mirrors. So?
Learn something new every day. Maybe one day we will escape the B6160.
Hopefully, and make it to Grassington again.
We will let you know soon. Bye!
We have changed locations. We are currently in Edale. We've set up the tent. We've already done all that niffle and trivia. Went up quite nicely. Dogs are snoozing and pine coning. And the igloo's over there. But most importantly is what's beyond the hedge line. Look at that for a view. Victoria and I are now just taking a bit of a 5-minute rest, reading books, analysing the maps, and we'll then probably take a little meander via the old nag's head in a bit after she's done messing about with her cone. Catch up with you in a bit. There's a train line down there if you hadn't guessed. But more importantly, that there is Mam Tor. That's not as far away as I thought it would be. So maybe in the morning we'll take a little journey down there. And where do you think you're going? Maisie?
There are sheep in that field, Dad.
There are sheep in that field.
You are not going in to see the sheep.
No, you are not going in to see the sheep.
I don't know if that's a cuddle so much as Juno laid down and then Maisie... Yep, there we go. Maisie then just came and laid down on top of her. Hi. Hello. Hello. Hello, sweetheart. Hey. Tell to me what is happening. Are you having a nice time on the camping chair? Careful. Down you go. Hey, Dad, is that my dinner? Look at tail wagging. Is that my dinner you got in the box, Dad? So having to think on my feet a little bit tonight for dinner. Just a lot of our ice packs and so on melted in the cool box, which meant there was quite a lot of water in the bottom of our box there, which normally wouldn't be an issue, but because obviously we've been out for a while, we've eaten things, so there's less stuff in the cool box, so it's not all wedged in quite as tight as it was when we set off. That means that certain items have fallen down into the water basically, and now they're inedible, things that I was banking on using tonight. Not a problem. We have a medley of ingredients, we can make something. Onions, some bacon, sweet corn, creme fraiche might be on, might not be, who knows, veg stock, hot sauce, garlic, cheese, got some pastas. You know what, with a medley of ingredients, bacon and sweet corn pasta will be easier than bacon and sweet corn risotto. Orzo or rigatoni? Do you know? Orzo or rigatoni? Juno vaguely rhymes with orzo, so let's go with orzo. Some sweet corn flavoured with orzo and bacon. Happy?
Very much so. Yep. Good morning. We have set off on another early morning walk because today is due to be possibly the last very hot day probably of the year. And on this occasion we've headed up the start of the Pennine Way. We'll meander along here for a little while and then just start to go up the Kinder Plateau kind of area, which is all very important because the Kinder Scout is the place of the first mass trespass, which I can't remember the year it happened. A bunch of ramblers wanted access to green space after working in the city during the week, and took themselves off and took themselves up Kinder Scout. And there was a bit of a ruckus between them and the gameskeepers, but the eventual result was that we now have the national parks, and as an extension, this here Pennine Way.
One, two, three rotations.
In the space of one small cake stop. It was a very nice cake.
It was a very nice cake. Shout out to your sister for making
the good old cookie bar. It is glorious. We're going to head back now, once I've untangled myself. 1 second. We've gone 2.67 miles along the Pennine Way, which is a lovely thing to get done of a morning. We're back at the campsite and we are now about to have some breakfast. Finished up as about 5.7 mile walk. It was very pleasant. Views were fantastic. The morning was nice. Victoria's just setting up the Kadak to do bacon and egg wraps. I have an excellent sandal tan line and I'm just making some coffee. Will's just finishing off boiling the last little bit of the water. So let's get this in the mugs.
Thank you, my dear.
No worries.
You know full well I'm not going to be able to drink straight away.
Have this fight every mealtime. Juno is not having the bacon. Yet Juno thinks she can have the bacon. We are here, and then cuddled up, and then joined the Pennine Way, and that's the very start of the Pennine Way, just there. And then we followed all the way across, and then made it just before Jacob's ladder, so we got to this gate here. I fear it has begun. The rains have arrived. So far only a mizzle, but they're due to get much, much heavier as the days progress.